Hello, bom dia in Portuguese. This is Fred in France for Metalops TV on YouTube and metalops.com, the French website. And we go this time into Portugal. Portugal. Bom dia, guys. Hello.
Hi.
Yeah.
Uh,
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you to accept this interview. So it's very we like your music. That's why I discover a single, honestly, of Stereophobia, the name of the band, and of the new album, the second album, Choke on This, which will be out in August on Eclipse
29.
Records.
Yeah.
So first, could you, before to put more in the details, could you introduce yourself, please? What's your name and what do you do in the band? Because before in the past you were 4 and now you are 3. We are going to speak more about the story. But first, what's your name and what do you do in the band, please, guys?
So I can start. My name is Dany Antunes, and I'm the drummer and backing vocalist for Stereophobia.
Okay, backing vocalist. Okay,
and
next.
Hi, and I'm Bruno. I'm the bass player for Stereophobia.
Yeah, okay. And you both, you are in the band since the early beginning. If I'm right, the band was launched in 2019 in Lisbon.
We are not from the initial formation, so it went through some transformations throughout time, and actually the one that stood and was along this path was Mike Rocha, which is the guitar player and lead singer. The project was started from him, and it had different members throughout the time. Our participation started around, I would say, 3 years ago, right?
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, and even when we started, we were 4. There was a vocalist, separate vocalist. Mike was just playing guitars. Yeah, and then at some point we decided to part ways with the vocalist that we had back then, and we had this question: who will sing? So we had this doubt that it would be fun to have a drummer to sing, which I was excited about the idea.
Like Phil Collins.
Yeah, or in others, yeah, but it's not so common, so it would be interesting to have that, and I did it in the past, but but actually Mike's voice just suits perfectly. So when we started the idea of recording the full album, the idea was immediately Mike will record it. So it sounded great right from the beginning, and we had no doubts that he would sing. And since the project started with him, it would be the best fit.
Okay, and Bruno helps on backing vocals also, like we said.
Currently, it's just me. But yeah, Bruno at the beginning wanted to do it as well. But in terms of production and the way things came out, at least for now, it's just me doing it.
And live the same.
Live the same, yeah.
Live the same, yeah.
Okay. Have you seen my T-shirt?
Oh.
Portugal since the independence. It's a wink to. I like very much Portugal. So you come from Lisbon. I know maybe better Porto, but Porto metal scene, but also with Evenwood, etc. But in Lisbon there is a big, there is a strong metal scene since a long time.
Yeah, like I normally say, in Portugal is a small country, right? And there's a very limited market, and we will always try to work with that. It's sometimes hard to get original music to go through because of that. But at the same time, there's a lot of in the background scenes in small clubs, venues that are not so mainstream. I would say there's always good music going back and forth. In Porto as well. But since we are from Lisbon, we see it in a mixed way, because we try to make it go through. But sometimes it's hard. Does the fact that we signed with Eclipse Records and being an American label really opened a lot of doors in this regard, because our target is more towards abroad than actually in Portugal, because of this reason. Because we love this country, but it's hard for new music to get through.
Yeah, but look at Gaia from they are from Porto, if I'm right.
Yes.
But he moved. Now the leader moved to the Netherlands, and Heavenwood, and yes, the Moonspell. We salute Fernando and Ricardo. Everybody, we know them. But but you have a very good blasphemous former guitarist of Mayhem, Ericsson, Rune Ericsson. He moved to with Carmen Simoes in Portugal. He has several projects, Ava in Ferry and No Electric. I don't remember. So yeah, good acts. Desire, doom metal in the all stuff. Yeah. But I remember also Wico. You know them, Wico. It was a kind of Lamb of God and Meshuggah, something like that. And
I think I have something about that. Do you remember, Bruno?
Wako, or Wako. Yeah. I remember in Lisbon, in the flag shop, there was a small there were CDs and of local CDs, and I wanted, as tourist, I wanted to buy local bands, and I take several CDs, and it 4, I still remember, 4 or 5, and they were all in different style, progressive, groove metal, dark metal, and it was excellent.
Yeah, that's interesting thing, because normally here we see from this feedback on the venues we play here that especially people from abroad are the ones that are actually curious about our music, and it's weird, but at the same time it's a privilege that sometimes people from all over the world, here and there, they see our shows and they come to us and say, this is good music, where can we listen to you, how long have you been around, and why couldn't I heard you about your brand before. So this is very good feedback, and now that you're saying that coming here and searching for bands, this is something that normally inside we are not very used to it, and we would like as composers and creating novel music. So,
of course. Okay. I wanted to know, of course, you were not at the origin of the band, but do you know why is it choice Stereophobia, the name of the band? Do you know a bit the origin of the name? Or you can have a joker if you don't know. Huh?
I don't know if you, Bruno, want to add that.
Bruno,
normally,
maybe?
You can explain it. You explain it better, my friend.
So normally Mike explains that because he was the founder, right? But I heard it countless of times, so at this point I already know. So basically, Stereophobia started with a list of names that were not chosen.
The rejected names.
So and since the idea of Mike was like, we are misfits, we don't fit in traditional mainstream scene, and the idea was to choose something that would also resemble that. So Stereophobia, I think, was one of the last names that were available, and Mike just said, this is the name. So there's not much story to that. This is actually
and there is a band called Stereophonics, so it's already made. So you choose that. Okay. What you both? What's your musical background? Because in your music, in Stereophobia music, and especially in the new album called Choke on This, we can feel groove metal, new metal in origins, alternative metal we can say nowadays, but especially new metal like Stained, Taproot, Deftones, stuff like that. Puddle of Mud. It's my vision, but of course, are there your roots, and do you have other roots? Your musical background before to integrate maybe Stereophobia? We were listening other things, other stuff.
I can speak a bit, then I let Bruno as well. At least from my part, I think our composition starts from Mike. Mike is the composer.
Okay. Yeah.
So our I would say mine and Bruno's part would be on the arrangements and where Mike already comes with ideas and we develop on that. But mine personally, I know that there's a lot of Stain, Alice in Chains, some more grunge references to that. I come from a bit of a different background, I would say. I like a lot of progressive rock, metal, Dream Theater, for instance. My background, I think it was also for a lot of people back then, Metallica. But also on the grunge scene, I would say Audioslave, other completely different styles. I would say Queen, I would say so many different genres. I like jazz and blues and also more funky funk styles.
Okay,
You name it, James Brown, more recent Jamiroquai. There's a lot of variety on my influences, and that subconsciously is put on the drums in the way I feel the ideas that Mike tried to implement. This is my perspective.
And you, Bruno, maybe yours? What do you
I'm more. My background is more like a grunge, new metal.
Oh, yeah.
Almost the same thing as Mike as well. So we come from the same orange, from music. So all the songs are made. So like as you say, I had a little bit of Stain, Deftones. Where I'm into more like Mudvayne, something like that. So it comes from different styles, but into new metal and grunge.
Yeah.
All of that.
Progressive stuff like that, like a Tool maybe, or Donner. I don't know if you understand something.
I'm a big fan of Tool.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm right. Okay, I'm not wrong when I listen to that. Okay. So it's your second album because you already released in 2023. I don't know if you were in the first album called No One Cares. You were on the credits. You recorded this first album, No One Cares, in 2023.
Yeah, it was actually the idea was that since I have a production background, so I was also a producer with other bands and including my own album. I had this idea that let's get into not a professional recording studio, but let's do it on our own. I have the gear, I have the knowledge, or at least the bare minimums to do an album, and we just got into a room after hearing Mike's ideas, and there were actually songs from No One Cares that were already existent from previous EPs. That we then developed to something else and made it into the album. But actually, No One Cares was a mix of different things that happened in the past with new ideas. It ends with a song that already resembles a bit of what would come on this Choke on This album. So we basically recorded ourselves. I was producing with their help as well. Doing the technical part, and then we mixed and mastered it with Miguel Camil, which is our current producer and the one that was in charge of Choke on This.
Okay, and it's your sound engineer when you play live also, Miguel Camil?
No. In that regard, different persons. Yeah.
Okay, and it was mastered and at MC Sound Studio.
Yes.
Okay,
exactly.
Where is it in Portugal?
Yeah, it's near Lisbon, in the surroundings. The first album was all recorded in different places. It's fun that the drums and the guitars were tracked in one room. The bass guitar was recorded in another room. Then the vocals were recorded in the village house. And the backing vocals were recorded on another friend's studio, and then we compiled everything, and then we gave it to Miguel Camil to mix and master it at MC Sound Studios. This second album, the Choke on This, was entirely recorded in MC Sound Studios.
Okay, the sound is very, 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 very good. Very comfortable to listen to the headphones or speakers or loudspeaker. Very, very, very rich. Very, I like it. I want and Bruno, it's interesting. Bruno, you play bass and before Dany speak about groove and I find groove especially in your bass. Also in the way of to play drums, but on bass, Bruno, you are only three in the band, so everyone has his part, and you put groove in your bass part, Bruno.
Yes.
Especially in this new album.
When I play bass, one of the things I like to hear when I like to play bass and I like to practice is funk. I like to practice a lot of funk, so that's where I come some of the groove in it that I like to put into metal.
You play with your fingers or with a pick?
I have in this album I have 2 songs that I play with the pick. The rest of the songs are all fingerstyle.
Yeah, okay. You are a bit like Robert Trujillo or Cliff Burton of Portugal.
A little, probably.
There is a groove. There is something. Alors, choke on this. I find this album very rich, very generous, because there are 14 tracks with a bonus track at the end, if I'm right. I don't know if it's a cover song. It's a cover song, Sweet Agony? No.
No.
An original song of Stereophobia. Okay, 14 tracks. Don't you think it's maybe more? It's very big because nowadays people just listen to one single, 2 singles, they like or they don't like, and they zap, they switch, they change, and especially on streaming platforms, on internet. But if they like, they will go maybe better or deeper, and they will maybe see you live in France or other countries when you are going to tour. But a whole album of 14 tracks, generally nowadays, the album is more general in 10 tracks because it's too long. After the people, and it's not progressive style here.
I get your question, and Mike also replies to this in a very interesting way that this is not selfish, but we do music for ourselves. We do music probably the old way or in the old-fashioned way. The idea for this album was actually a concept album. Is to be heard from track 1 to last track as was done in the past. And the idea is not to go with the trend. We are not doing things that we are doing things that we identify with. It's how art is supposed to be, not to go as the machine is the global machine, let's say, is going. So that's the idea in the album, as a lot of interludes and transitions between songs. So it's supposed to be a story.
Exactly.
That's the main idea of the 14 songs. Yeah.
Okay, that's why. Okay, but live you are not going to play the 14 tracks. Live.
No.
In that regard, we are always depending on the venue and the public to do it in a way that it captivates the audience. So it needs to be selected.
There are already 3. So there will be, or there are. The album will be out in August of Stereophobia. Check on this. There will be 3 singles, if I'm right. The first one is already out. It's Maggots. I like that's by this song I discover you, honestly. With this groove metal, new metal. I like the energy, the groove. Very well produced, good songs. And after there will be, if I'm right, Uncle Clark's Made Me Do It, and the third one will be the Freak Show.
Exactly.
Freak Show, more special song. Tell me more about this song, maybe Bruno. Yes, the Freak Show. It's maybe a darker song. I don't know how to say.
It's a darker song, and the bass line it's made to be a darkest song to what's about, because the song talks about the freaks that Mike and all this was used to be in this past when he was around. So that's kind of a dark thing from the past.
We are the freaks from the depths, crawling out from the slums, getting high and wasted, middle fingers, no religions, no respect for fun. So save your prayers, cause we'll track you. So clear your mind, take this gun and blow your intoxicated fake view. Corruption, lies and control, fuck you. Stuff it deep down your throat. Here comes the freak show. We are the ones cutting tongues, renegades from hell. It's the tragic signs of failure.
Is it a catharsis album? Catharsis album? Catharsis? Je sais, I don't know any, can we say for Mike? Because you can see a picture on the cover track of Choke on This with a picture of a family, a razor blade, and stuff like that. And the cover was made by Tatiana Ferreira, if I'm right. So tell me more about the concept, if it's a really cool concept, like you said. Maybe.
Yeah. I think everything is connected. The idea of Mike was to put outside his childhood memories, and not in easy way, I would say. It's to be straight on your face, the feelings put outside, and every single song has a story behind that. You were mentioning the freak show, and as Bruno was saying, it resembles some of his past, and what he felt, and but going back to what I was saying about Stereophobia being a misfit, and the freak show, it's like there's someone that doesn't fit, and there's this group of people that the freaks that are coming. So there's darkness behind that. There's joking about that, and there's the movement, or the own song is a lot based on the bass line, So all this concept has come alive in this very particular way. So and since you mentioned the cover, the album cover, it really, if you see, there's a razored kid. and
pills also, pills and the clock.
Yeah. So you have the perfect family, but the kid is razored. So this idea that everything looks perfect, but just from the outside. So everything else is just trying to cover up all the wounds that came from the past. This would be reflected in all these songs and all the story of the album. So as a catharsis, maybe, yes, to put outside things that were kept for so long inside, and that
cathartic approach, and especially maybe the song Uncle Clark Made Me Do It, because it's very, I don't imagine maybe what's happening, but okay, we ask Mike. Maybe I think it's a personal memory.
No, Uncle Clark's it's Uncle Clark's the drink. It's not a person. It's a drink. So Clark's make me do it.
Actually, it came from the whiskey. So we are actually free of advertising.
Okay. There is a song I like very much. The introduction of the tourist, if I'm right, with an introduction of drums by you, Dany. It remember me Deftones with Ed Cunningham drums. A bit on some album of Deftones. It's an influence, maybe the introduction.
I think there's a lot of songs that, believe it or not, the drum parts come from Mike's ideas. And then what I do is I just adapt it to the way the guitars then get in that way. But sometimes Mike comes with this, I have this idea, the drums should be like, and how sometimes we make fun of this, like a guitar player or a bass player try to explain the drummer, hey, do this, and I'm like, what are you talking about? And then I do something, Yeah, similar to that, but the bass drum you do this and then, but it doesn't make any sense. It will not even fit. So, and we end up with something that resembles something else. But nowadays everything is like already invented. So there's definitely influences. Yeah, but there's also an adaptation to what then the riff will be. So that's the way eventually we compose. We obviously have influences, but we also come up with our.
But you rehearse together. You rehearse together, and sometimes the idea comes together at your local rehearsal room in Lisbon.
Yeah. It started like that. Yeah.
Okay. There is another song like called "Twisted Fuck." Very more aggressive. I like it also. A different style, but in general, we are in 4-5 minutes tracks with chorus, bridge, and verse. But the Twisted Fuck. Tell me more about this song.
This song is we always laugh about this song because it's something completely different. It's just like it has a more trashy, speedish
punk, maybe,
vibe to it. It's just like screaming outside what's inside, and the lyrics are just one sentence. So we are just putting it outside in the fastest way possible. And even with Bruno, we always make fun of this. Like we should rehearse this because even though it's short and simple, it's sometimes you see some middle part which is technically not so straightforward, but the way it came out, it's just like we like it. So.
And how did you get this record deal with this label, Eclipse Records, a label founded and launched for the artistical direction by Chris Poland, former musician of Megadeth, for example? Bruno, maybe you can answer. How did you get this deal, Eclipse Records? Because you are Portuguese. Why did you just choose? You send copies, you send demos to the label?
We start with the first record. When we want the first record, we send them the record. He listened to, he liked it. He wanted to start dealing with us. We said we wanted to start recording the second record, and at the time when we finish, we'll send it to him. We'll be the first to receive it. And when he received it, he enjoyed it. He loved it, and he wanted to make a deal with us.
Simply. Cool. And did you toured a lot and for the first album and No One Cares in release in 2023, and now do you have plans to release to tour for this new album Choke on This, especially in Portugal, but in Europe and maybe in France? The plans.
Yes, we toured during the first album. We toured in Portugal, but
Spain?
For the
Spain,
second,
maybe? Spain,
no,
maybe
we didn't went to Spain. Just wish the first album just to the tour in Portugal. For the second album, we are trying to make an Europe tour. We are trying to do it with some help me here.
to play live as a support band or headliner?
We actually going back. Yeah. Just going back to the Eclipse Records. Our intent also when this was a mutual thing. Chris was actually wanted, like Bruno said, wanted to hear our second album and wanted to hear firsthand. But our idea was like we cannot do things like we did with No One Cares because again, going back to the limited market here, we were doing it by ourselves, we're promoting by ourselves, we're booking tour by ourselves, and having an American label backing us on this, we knew that our product was good, but it needed to be put outside to be properly heard and evaluated, right? So that's why Eclipse Records was just the perfect match. And regarding the touring, we now have people on our end and with the support of Eclipse Records to work on that and to do it abroad. That's our intention.
You have a book agency? You have a booker?
We are working with book agents. We have our own agent, and we are working with different book agents. And we are planning to do a release tour for this album. We don't yet have dates to show, but when the time comes,
Okay, I will put the links in the description of this interview about your Facebook, social networks to follow you and your news. Are you going to play this summer or next summer in 2026 maybe at Vagos Metal Festival, the famous Portuguese metal festival?
We would like to, but we still need to see if that's possible.
It will be awesome. I remember 1 year I've seen like that Opus 10 years ago, something like that. Yeah. Okay, guys, we are going to conclude. So I suggest obrigado for this interview. It was a pleasure, and we like your album, a very generous album, very powerful album, punchy, groovy, and old school, because in the 90s and 2000, the albums there were 15 tracks, 14 tracks. It was more like that. Now we became lazy, not you. And what's your last word? It's for you. Your last word to conclude is for you. Tell us what you want.
Once again, friend, merci beaucoup. This was an amazing opportunity to show to your audience as well. Stereophobia. Thank you for having us here. And again, we will be reachable over our socials, and the album will come shortly. We have the new video coming, actually second single and video coming soon. So keep posted. And thank you once again. I'll pass my word to Bruno.
Well, I like to thank you for the interview, for receiving us. It was a pleasure, really. And then to say thank you to everybody who was watching.
Okay, thank you. Last question, very last question. Do you prefer Superbock beer or Sagres beer?
I'm a Sagres guy.
Sagres as well.
Sagres? Okay, me too. But it depends when you're in Porto or Lisbon. I like it football. Okay, guys. Thank you very much. I let you, and take care, and good luck with this new album. Choke on this by Stereophobia. Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you.